butt and said, "Get out of here." And he was after that completely, what's that called? When somebody is sent away and exiled. Yeah, he was exiled from the whole Kshatriya community because he had broken the code of the Kshatriya in such a terrible way. And his jewel and everything was, his Shakti was gone. And so he just spent the rest of his days in the forest performing austerities. So this was expert arrangement by Krishna. See, considering the time, the circumstance, the people, the customs of the families involved, and the Shastra, everything. Who could make such a judgment? Only Krishna. 20. Seer by the authority of the scriptures. A person who acts exactly according to the tenets of scripture is called Shastra Chakshus. Shastra Chakshus means one who sees through the eyes of the authorized scriptures. Actually, any man of knowledge and experience should see everything through these books. For example, with our naked eye we perceive the sun globe simply as some glaring substance. But when we see through authorized books of science and other literature, we can understand how much greater the sun globe is than this earth, and how powerful it is. So seeing things through the naked eye is not actually seeing. Seeing things through the authorized books or authorized teachers is the correct way to see. So although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can see all that is past, present, and future, to teach the people in general, he used to always refer to the scriptures. For example, in Bhagavad-gītā, although Krishna was speaking as the supreme authority, he still mentioned and quoted Vedānta-sūtra as authority. There is a statement in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam wherein a person jokingly says that Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, is known as the seer through the Shastras. In order to establish his authority, however, he is now engaged in seeing the gopis, whereby the gopis are becoming maddened. Rupa Goswami always has to throw in a quote about Vrindavan and Brajalila and the gopis. Do you get the joke? The joke is that Krishna is known as always seeing through the scriptures, but right now he's seeing the gopis. And he wants to dance with them and enjoy them. But for Krishna, this is perfectly pure. Whatever Krishna does is pure. Whatever Krishna does is religion. Because Sakshad Dharman, what is it? Bhagavat-pranitam. Sakshad Dharman Bhagavat-pranitam. That whatever Krishna does, whatever the Lord does, those are the principles of religion. That doesn't mean that we can imitate him, though. And in this world, our problem all comes from the fact that we try to imitate the Lord, and we try to act like him and enjoy with his energy. And this is getting us in so much trouble. Because of this wanting to imitate Radha and Krishna's romantic pastimes, for example, then we have to get married, and we have to work so hard and raise family and take on so much responsibility, so many duties. And after some time, we start to realize, oh, I could have just remained brahmachari. I didn't have to do all this. I could have just been chanting without any worries, without any cares, and studying scriptures and like that. But because we have some desire to enjoy, like Krishna, and we get ourselves in so much difficulty. But even then, even so, by performing devotional service to Krishna, we can transform even our family life into Goloka Vrindavan. By turning our house into a temple, by having different spiritual functions in our home, engaging our family members in different services, then everyone can become Krishna conscious. And actually you can become what's called grihastha brahmachari. Even though you're a householder, you still live according to the Dharma. You don't cohabit, you don't engage in illicit sex life. Instead, you simply preach through your family activities and engage all your family members. This is very nice. Srila Prabhupada himself gave the example in his own life. That even though his family members didn't follow very nicely, he tried his best to engage them in Krishna's service. And then at the age of 55, he left, took sannyas, and so he showed exemplary family activities in his life. So the next, what time is it, by the way?
7:30.
7:30. Okay, we have a little more time. The next quality, number 21, is pure. There are two kinds of supreme purity. When one type is possessed, one is able to deliver a sinful person. When the other type is possessed, one does not do anything, which is impure. A person who possesses either of these qualities is called supremely pure. But Krishna is both. He can deliver all sinful conditioned souls, and at the same time, he never does anything by which he can be contaminated. We also saw this in Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, even though he might have been like traveling in India or something like this, he was always extremely pure. He always kept water and washed his hands and mouth and head and feet and kept clean and like that, even in the railway, you know. Even when so many people would come and visit him and try to distract him in different ways, he always remained fixed to his devotional service and very, very pure in his mind and his heart and also physically. And at the same time, many sinful people came to him and were delivered and actually engaged in pure devotional service. So we saw this directly in Srila Prabhupada. He had both of these supreme purities mentioned in this verse. In this connection, Vidura, while trying to detach his elder brother Dhritarashtra from his familial attachments, said, "My dear brother, you just fixed your mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, who is worshipped with beautiful erudite verses by great sages and saintly persons. Krishna is the supreme deliverer among all deliverers. Undoubtedly there are great demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, but their positions as deliverers depend always upon the mercy of Krishna. Therefore Vidura advised his elder brother Dhritarashtra to concentrate his mind and worship only Krishna. If someone simply chants the holy name of Krishna, this holy name will rise within one's heart like a powerful sun and will immediately dissipate all the darkness of ignorance. Vidura advised Dhritarashtra to therefore always think of Krishna, so that the volumes of contamination due to sinful activities would be washed off immediately. In Bhagavad-gītā, also, Krishna is addressed by Arjuna as Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, the supreme pure. There are many other instances exhibiting Krishna's supreme purity. It's a fact. Krishna is so pure that just by remembering his name, one becomes purified, inside and out. What's that shloka? Apavitram pavitro va. You sing it during the Homa, or actually before. And when everyone is being called to the sacrifice, that purified or unpurified, everyone can approach the supreme destination by performing the worship of the Supreme. You see? Why? Because the Supreme is himself the greatest purifier. He is so pure that any contact with him through any of the 9 processes of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet, worshiping in the temple, giving up everything, becoming his friend, and so on, so many things. These 9 processes, anyone who executes these 9, they become purified just by their relationship or service activities dedicated to the Lord. So we know that if someone is pure, just like if someone is very rich, anyone who's connected with them automatically gets so much financial benefits from that. So similarly, anyone who is very, very pure, if one becomes connected with them in any way, then he also becomes purified. 22. Self-controlled. A person who can control his senses fully is called vashi, or self-controlled. In this connection, it is stated in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam